girl, so hand-me-down.
I never had a ready-made dress till the year I graduated from high school. It was the first time I ever got a ready-made one.
Right.
Go to bed at night, Mama is down there sewing.
That you could hear the sewing machine squeaking.
I wonder how many hours of sleep she got.
Not a whole lot, because she got up. Daddy would get up really early, like I'd say probably 4 o'clock.
That's right, 4 and 5 o'clock.
And in the winter, well, even in all year, because you had to make a fire in the kitchen stove in order to
And
cook
the other
breakfast.
stove too, you got to make fire in 2 stoves.
Well, not if it's winter. I mean, not
Oh,
if it's
no.
summer. But you always had to make a fire in the cook stove. That's the
That's
only way you
right.
could bread and made coffee or anything.
Made
You
a
had
big
to-
old stove.
Well, how did Granddaddy handle it since he only had 3 boys, like to help milk the cows and all that?
Well, it probably would have been a lot better if he'd had some guys, but Gertrude, Sister Gertrude, always said that she did working in the fields as much as the boys
I had
did.
2. I've worked in them.
We did
I
a
can
lot.
see myself up on a wagon,
Load of hay.
and Daddy is taking the hay, look, throwing it up on a big wagon, and I got to pack it down, and here comes the fork full of hay. Here comes old Snake down through it, and I'm screaming. Daddy said, I'm not gonna kill it, let it go, let it go. Boy, was I scared up on the top of that wagon with hay. I didn't know how many more snakes were in there.
And
It's
then
funny
when-
that you all are afraid of snakes since you grew up on a
I was
farm.
scared to
We're
death
scared.
of them.
She's scared of them too, but you'd think farm girls might not
No, I'm still scared of them. But I do remember a story of a snake. We used to take Daddy cold water when he's out in the fields working in
You
the summer.
got to.
We take, out of the well, you got good, out of the pump, you got good cold water, and we take a quart jar and,
Got
take
to
it
go across the field
and go across a couple of creeks on
and
the
go
way.
across a fence where the animals are in.
be. How'd you
Right.
go across a
And
creek?
Well, the fence is the story of the snake, because there was a post there, and you had to hook the wire over to open the fence to go through. And I reached up to take the wire off to open the fence, and there was a snake curled up there. And oh my gosh, I backed off, and
Scream.
well, there was nobody to scream to. I was all by myself taking a quart of water to Daddy, and I just stood back and waited till that snake got on off, and then I went through the fence.
Well, I can remember going to the spring. We had a spring, and Mother would send milk and butter down into the spring to keep cold.
Oh, in the summer,
Because
yeah.
we didn't have, they didn't put current in that house current till I left in 1941.
They put what?
Before they put electricity in that house. I was no electricity in that house.
Wait
Why-
a minute, I don't think there was electricity in the house much longer than that.
No, it didn't put it in till after I come to Richmond.
I
I
know,
know
it.
that.
I was living there a long time before they had
I know.
Well,
I know.
My mom always says that she liked to go out in the field and say she was working out there because then she could give Granddaddy his water and then go and play.
Joan and I
And
would
if she
go-
stayed at home, that Grandma would work her.
Oh, she'd have us doing something all
So
the time.
is that how it was with you? That you would rather be out there with Granddaddy?
Yeah, I love to be in the field with them.
Well, Joan and I, we'd take the water to Daddy, and then Joan and I would go down in the woods and make a playhouse. We'd find a spot and sweep it, and get a brush and
leaves.
sweep it, and pretend it was a playhouse.
So out of Grandma and Granddaddy, who was the more strict one?
Well, the one that we were more scared of was Mama.
Daddy never put his foot on none of us, but Mama did. Mama switched us.
Did he
I can
did he
remember
feel
I was
sorry for
supposed-
you all when that
I
happened?
can remember, honey, she's going to switch me for something, and I went in the house that you had to go to the bathroom. We had
The outhouse.
The outhouse. you know.
Outhouse.
And I stayed in that house,
You
hot
hid it-
house,
you hid in
and I
there?
didn't want to go to the house because I was going to get switched for something, and it was, what was it? What's that on the vines that poison oak? Wait a
Poison
minute.
ivy?
Poison ivy,
Poison
oak.
ivy, and I pull that poison ivy vine, and I would eat it. Never broke me out. and HC can't look at poison ivy if he don't get it.
I've never heard of anybody eating poison.
Well, I was hungry, so I reached outside. It was running up beside the outhouse, the house that we missed in.
Outhouse.
Well, that's what got you in trouble?
Huh?
Is that why you were in
She was in
trouble?
trouble because she was hiding in the
I was
outhouse.
hiding in that outhouse.
What did you do that got you in trouble?
I finally got to the house ring. I got a switch. I reckon.
But what did you do to get that punishment?
What were you in trouble for?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Always something.
I don't
Always
remember.
something.
Okay.